Okay, so what is your process for mentally preparing a fighter who is stepping up in competition, perhaps against an opponent who is unbeaten, for example, considered unbeatable? What's the process there mentally to prepare a fighter? Because so much of the game is mental.
Oh, he's got to believe it, man. We talk about it. Look, I find weaknesses in the guy. Okay, we're gonna exploit it there. Best thing to do is to find weaknesses in the guy, and that gives your fighter the confidence. Okay, yeah. Every fighter has weaknesses.
Mm.
Okay, we work on certain things. We work on this. Okay, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. All this stuff is called positive reinforcement. But the main thing is, what the number one thing is? Conditioning. Getting your fighter in tip-top shape. That's going to give him the confidence, okay, that he could beat the other guy. When he's going 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds. Like that last guy, Floyd Schofield is?
Yes, I've heard of him, yes.
Floyd Schofield, the Golden Boy fighter.
Hmm.
Yeah, we the guy he fought, a guy named Rene Tejas, we sparred him and everything. And we went 8, 10, 12 rounds, 14 rounds the last time.
Wow.
At US. And we're training at 6,000 feet altitude. Right then and there, I knew he was ready. It was a month before he fought, so I knew he was ready. I'm like, yeah, I feel good going in the fight. You know what I mean? That feeling, like, I don't want to get too comfortable, but that feeling like, yeah, we're ready. Conditioning wise, we're ready. Now, it was a month before the fight. Then after that, I said, man, we're going to start tapering down because my guy, he hit his peak. And once you hit your peak in training, you don't want to keep sparring him hard. You're going to leave it in the gym. You got to know when to taper back. And that's when I said, we cut sparring down to twice a week. You know what I mean? And guys, like, just to keep him sharp, keep his timing and rhythm good. Yeah. Because he's already in shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's quite interesting because it must be a temptation when you see him hit his peak to let him spar more. But then
Well, that's what
you
a
got to
good
taper
coach.
him back.
That's one thing I learned from Eddie Futch. Yeah. Don't leave it in the gym. Eddie used to tell me, don't leave it in the gym. Eddie told me that, yeah. When I was coming up, yeah. He told me this when we were training in Big Bear. Yeah, that's too much. Yeah. I'll tell you a story. Want me to tell you a story?
Yeah.
De La Hoya, when he first turned pro, we were in the gym watching him spar. He was getting ready for a fight. I think it was his third or fourth pro fight. And me and Eddie were watching I told the story on your last show. Me and Eddie were watching sparring, and after they were done, he sparred 12 rounds. And Eddie looked at me, shook his head, goes, "They're sparring him way too much." I looked at him like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Man, there's other ways to get in shape besides sparring too much." He goes, that's when he told me the story about Joe Frazier. He goes, I never sparred Joe Frazier when he was training him. Frazier, he said, I never sparred Frazier more than 6 rounds. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, there's other ways to get in shape. There's other ways to get in shape besides sparring, like hitting the heavy bag, all right, shadow box and stuff like that. And he goes, Frazier was a physical, tough fighter that took a lot of punishment. He didn't want to leave it in the gym. So he only did 6 rounds and that's it. Get on that heavy bag. I don't even think he did pad work back then. So you gotta understand, as a coach, you gotta understand, man. You gotta understand your fighter. Every fighter's different, man. Every fighter's different. Some guys, I like for the guys to peak like 2 weeks for the fight. My guy was ready at a month. And I'm like, geez. And his weight was down. So after that I started cutting back. No more of that heavy shit. Because just maintain where we're at. Because we're ready to go. And I had that feeling, yeah. You got to understand your fighter. And a veteran coach, old time ones, I learned this shit from, like Futch. Man Stewart was good. A guy named Murphy Griffin, a guy that trained Brian Mitchell. Good. Emil Griffin's cousin. I think they were cousins. Very sharp. He knew about this. And, other old school coaches, back in the days I knew. George Benton, you don't leave it in the gym, man. You got to understand, because once your fighter hits a peak, anything after that, you could leave it in the gym, man. Yeah. Cut back on that shit, man. That's what I do.